Season's greetings and welcome to Liberty Today, the show that asks the question, is the TSA watching Sam Kephart? Or is Sam watching the TSA? Jeanette McIntyre is here to take Chris Wallace to the woodshed, and our friend Vlad is back with another Obamacare update. You will like it, or else, on today's Liberty Today.
It seems like every politician who runs for office promises openness, honesty, and Sam Kephart, how do you think they're delivering?
It's crap, pure crap. Sorry, don't mean to offend anybody. You may as well take it and flush it down a toilet. The sad thing is the founders of the United States really set our country up so that ordinary people could go work a few years for the common good, commonweal, they called it in those days, the common good, and then go back home. Then it got taken over by
citizen legislators.
Correct. But now it's professional legislators, a lot of them attorneys, and now there's this whole lobbying thing. And there is not transparency around the money.
What about transparency before Senate and House committees of late?
Well, no, I can tell you right now, the current whole national security mess, is that transparent? Have we had any say in that matter? Now, I'm going to tell you a story. So they have this thing, I've been flying a lot lately, and I went through the airport and there's a thing called...
Who are you running from? I'm just curious.
TSA pre-check. And there's a form, you have to go to a website and type in your name, and it's $85 and it's good for 2 years, and that sort of gets you in the high-speed lane at the airport. Great. The application, the reminder form, is sitting on my dresser at home. Last week ago Sunday, I go to fly and I download the United boarding pass. Up pops this thing, TSA pre-check. I'm thinking, I didn't apply for that. They're already profiling people. I was given the TSA pre-check. Now, they don't just, it's not like a lottery thing. Somebody had to go study my patterns. Do you understand?
And that alone would give them cause for concern.
Right. I was wondering, and sure enough, when I went to the airport, they said, I hadn't seen that before. And they give me this special little thing, and I didn't have to take my suit coat or shoes off.
Anybody who thinks Big Brother isn't watching isn't really paying attention.
Correct. Anyhow, the point to the story is the whole thing about profiling and the NSA and the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Acts, the points in there dealing with our individual rights, those were discussed behind closed doors. Those were not open Senate sessions at all. And sadly, John Thune and McCain and some of those other people were involved in that. And I don't like elites making decisions for me.
But it's for your own good, Sam. You're not smart enough to figure it out.
But who's watching the watcher?
Yeah, that's the point.
Who's watching the watcher?
The answer is nobody.
Thank you.
Except maybe the Edward Snowdens of this world who have, he's been, you talk about somebody who's on the run from someone. Here's a guy who blew the lid off of the NSA business, and he's probably not living a real happy, carefree life.
Well, here's the deal. He absolutely violated his secrecy agreement. I worked in the security industry for 17 years. I had one of those. And the NSA was given a fishing line to say that, okay, there's terrorists, and the Congress, behind closed doors, gave them authorization to have a long line. Long line is a fishing term out in the ocean where you may have a line that goes for a couple miles and that's baited in the fish hook. That's my concept of catching a terrorist. But the NSA...
This was an all-encompassing net.
But they took that fishing line and wove a tuna purse seining net out of it.
Yes.
And we just take it off. And that's... The fact that that decision was made without permission and without public approval, we can have an argument about whether that's the best way to catch a terrorist or not. But there was no public debate over it. It's kind of like this whole domestic drone thing. If there's a forest fire, fine, send the drone out to deal with it or look at the train wreck, but I don't want those things circling overhead. We're not being invited, folks, into that public debate. I have a huge problem with that.
We're specifically being excluded.
Correct. By by the process in Washington where these national security things are discussed behind closed doors, but there's no transparency. And then there's this thing called the FISA court. Well, there's a federal judge that overlooks this. Yeah, but who gets to sit in there and make sure that they're being fair?
I love it.
Because most of the 98% of what they're asked for, they grant. Well, okay, who's advocating for the other side in that FISA court?
Barbara Boxer, I think, made the statement recently that they have in Congress, they have to make these decisions because the American people don't know what they know. Well, I guess we're just too stupid to figure it out. I'd say it's time we uncovered some of the rabbit trails, and it's a frightening prospect, isn't it,
Yes,
Sam?
sir.
Well, thanks for watching us today.